Don't leave me hanging. It's go time.
Hey everybody, it's Josh Seth, aka AskJoshy on YouTube, and here we have Game 2 between DIMAGA and HuK from the Go For SC2 Cup run by ESL. This commentary is brought to you, however, by PokerDiscounts.com. The map is Desert Oasis, DIMAGA spawning down here on the bottom half, and HuK as the blue Protoss up here at the top. And both these players are very, very good. Of course, HuK being a great representative for North America in all of these European Cups like Zotac and ESL, and DIMAGA actually hailing from the Ukraine, being just a huge force over there as well in these Zotac and ESL Cups. But these are the quarterfinals for the ESL tournament played on July 14th. And HuK is currently leading the series 1-0. It is a best of 3, and this is Game 2, so DIMAGA is going to need to win if he's going to have any chance of taking these quarterfinals and moving on. HuK, of course, all he needs to do is win this and move on to the semifinals. But Desert Oasis, I actually have not cast a game on Desert Oasis, I think, in probably months. I mean, most tournaments actually remove this from their map pool, including the IC Cup TV Challenge and IC Cup TV Leagues, which I helped cast. But like Desert Oasis, if it's not a ladder game, you usually just don't see it. So, you know, I've probably forgotten more about this map than I ever knew. I know that Zerg at one time were claimed to have heavy favoritism on this map because of this easy to take natural expansion and the huge running distance from both of these bases. So DIMAGA could have just a built-in race advantage. I mean, I agree that running distance is huge, but players, you know, figuring out warp gates, figuring out the best use for all these things. He could even just build a pylon here and start warping in units down a cliff, and that cuts the running distance almost in half. So we'll have to see if anything like that happens. Obviously, Void Rays are always a concern. I believe those were a concern before the changes to Void Rays, where they have now a decreased range and things like that. So maybe we'll see HuK try and go for some Void Ray cheese. And really, I don't even like the term cheese. I'm not sure why I just said that. Void Rays are Void Rays no matter how fast you get them. You can prepare for them with good scouting and lots of anti-air, or you can be caught with your pants down and yell cheese. So sorry that I even said that word. But DIMAGA going for, you know, gas and spawning pool equal times again, like we saw in that first game on Kulas Ravine. HuK hanging out by the natural expansion just to make sure DIMAGA doesn't get his hands on it very quickly. DIMAGA looks like he doesn't even care about that, though. He's warping in a queen first, and will probably be getting Zergling speed the moment he gets 100 gas. Maybe not. He did actually do that the first time, so going to be changing up his build a little bit to play against HuK in the second game. DIMAGA, pretending to chase away HuK's drone, and instead, HuK's probe actually, and instead dropping that hatchery over here at the natural as expected. So all that gas still not being put to use. However, DIMAGA is solidifying a good economy here early in the game. Cybernetics Core already done for HuK. Did he build a gateway already? No, he has not. So he's probably not going to be doing any Void Ray plays. Sorry that possibility has been ruled out. I actually love seeing some very well-handled Void Rays. White Raw has been trying to do it against TLO in all the various show matches, but hasn't been very successful with it recently. But maybe HuK would be able to pull it off, who knows. But instead, he's going to be getting a robotics facility after that first gate, so this is a little bit different from the first game as well. Robotics facility instead of a second gateway right off the bat. DIMAGA, of course, getting a good look at everything with his wonderful scouting overlord. So HuK working off of 2 gas and 1 robotics facility, getting a sentry to try and plug up this ramp in case DIMAGA does try to be sneaky with Zerglings. Instead, DIMAGA is going to use his gas for a Roach Warren and a Lair instead of Zergling speed, so going to be going for some higher tier units earlier than he did last game. HuK looked like he knew exactly what to do against Speedlings last time, so DIMAGA-lings not going to be making an appearance this time around. Instead, we'll see some DIMAGA Roaches. And getting that natural up, getting a queen as soon as possible. Always good for macro, always good for spawning larva and spreading creep. As soon as that Roach Warren finishes, he goes ahead and gets the Glial Reconstruction. So getting that Roach speed, our good buddy Sai, StarCraft always talks about how Roach speed is one of the first things you should get as a Zerg once your lair finishes. He's also getting an Overseer here, out very close to HuK's base. Not sure what he's going to be using that for, except possibly, you know, scouting information. Cranking out an Immortal. Did he get an Observer first? I don't think he did. Wow, HuK actually going for very fast Immortals instead of an Observer first, and also getting this Robotics Bay up. So going to be seeing a couple of Immortals probably chrono boosted out. Yep, there goes the Chrono Boost, and then followed by Colossi. So this Overseer checking out everything, sees the Robotics Bay, sees that he's only got one gateway still, and so DIMAGA needs to make some decisions now. How is he going to deal with these Colossi? It looks like he is getting Aspire, which of course is a great choice because they counter everything that comes out of a robotics facility. Immortals and Colossi, of course, can't hit air, so probably going to be seeing some Corruptors to go against those future Colossi. We'll just have to see. You know, this is all just a little bit of oh, he blocked the training. That's what the Overseer was for. Good job, Overseer, using that Contaminate ability to stop production on this robotics facility. He probably thought there was a Colossus coming out, because by the time he saw this robotics bay, it was already done. Whoa, what is this? HuK actually getting... Well, he's getting Warp Prism speed instead of extended Thermal Lances right off the bat. He hasn't even made a Warp Prism yet, but now that these two Immortals are out, he is cranking one out of there and getting a second gateway at the same time. So HuK getting basically one Warp Gate, two Immortals, and now a Warp Prism. Gonna try and do some early economic damage, probably with an Immortal drop. However, DIMAGA's Spire is nearly finished, so Corruptor is going to be able to stop that Warp Prism if he gets him out on time. Hell, even Mutalisks would be able to stop that since Immortals can't fight back. But now HuK does load up these Immortals, starts cruising along this very short flying distance. I told you good players can work around that very long run distance. They don't, they don't need to bank on having a huge Tier 1 army to win this kind of game. So DIMAGA expecting this already, of course, because he had his Overseer in place. Gonna lose his Queen, perhaps? No, doesn't lose the Queen unless HuK is able to fly him over there and take him out, and he does. All these Roaches trying to take down these Immortals. Immortals, of course, are a hard counter to Roaches. Roaches take absolutely forever to kill Immortals. Immortals just do crazy damage to them. But now we have some Corruptors on the field for DIMAGA. Gonna try and take out this Warp Prism. Let's see if he's successful. The Warp Prism does have that improved speed, though, and Corruptors are kind of slow. Not really the fastest air units by any means, but he does go ahead and he needs to unload that other Immortal too, just in case that Warp Prism does get taken out. But HuK trying to expand now, keep up with DIMAGA's excellent income. It looks like they're pretty even on workers. DIMAGA only up by about 6 drones, but his gas and mineral income are both obviously superior, working off of those two bases. So HuK trying to catch up now while getting not getting Colossi on the field yet. I really assumed he would have extended Thermal Lances or at least a Colossus coming out on the field by now. However, it looks like he's just made a third Immortal and a couple of Zealots with his minerals, also getting +1 upgrades on his ground forces. DIMAGA, on the other hand, getting, what are these, double Evo Chambers. Going to be able to upgrade all his Roaches and Corruptors, well, not Corruptors, going to be able to upgrade all his Roaches at least. Have not seen a Hydra Den yet for him, so it looks like Roaches and Corruptors are going to be his choice for this game. And also dropping the second hatchery, which I saw just a second ago. Actually, a second expansion, third hatchery, so he's going to be working off of 3 bases here very shortly, where HuK will just be now starting on his second. So Burrow now coming in, also the Roach extra tunneling claws and regeneration and things like that all coming in, so he really loves his Roaches. DIMAGA not wanting to stray away from that build. We saw a lot of Roaches on Kulos Ravine, whereas Hydralisks really probably would have helped him more, but DIMAGA Roaches better than normal Roaches just because DIMAGA is the one controlling them. So we'll have to see if the burrowing Roaches do well for him this time around. HuK already getting another Observer on the field. I mean, he had a couple of Observers ready by the time he was engaging those tunneling Roaches, so hopefully for DIMAGA's sake there's not too many Observers on the field if he does try to do something clever with them. DIMAGA looks like he's keeping up on his macro very well, able to spawn larvae with ease every time necessary. HuK moving back with this empty Warp Prism, trying to bait these